What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pace Studio here in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. We are here with a very special guest, 5 very special guests. This is Butcher Brown. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Welcome to Paste.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah. Oh, man, the pleasure is ours. This is going to be a good one, guys. These guys have a record that just came out. It was a live album called Live at Vagabond, recorded at the Hometown Place in Richmond, Virginia. And there is some new music on the way as well. So we're going to hear a little bit of both. Let's start it off with a song. Tell me a little bit about this first one you're going to do.
First song we're going to do is called Street Pharmacy, written by DJ Harrison. A long time ago. We're all super hyped to actually play it because we all been listening to it for years.
Yeah.
Decades. So yeah, Street Pharmacy.
Cool.
Centuries.
Shall we?
Thank you, guys. The crowd goes wild. There are hundreds of people behind me. The people who watch don't know it, but we're in a room full of like 1,000 people. So that song was on the live record. Is that right? Was that at Live at Vagabond, or no? No.
That's something we just recorded.
You just recorded, so that's one of the newer songs. So I was thinking about that because I was listening to the live record this week leading up to today, and it seems like you guys are. This is sort of maybe your natural environment in the live setting, playing off each other, around each other, on top of, below each other. Is it tough to record what you guys do? Is it tough to get together and like come up with one thing that everyone is like, this is exactly how I want it to sound?
I don't. For us, it's not that difficult just because we all hanging out with Devon. The way he operates in the studio is very quick. It's very honest. You know, you get it in the first few takes. You know, because you start engineering something that's not spontaneous. So we kind of have not only just tooled the improvisation that way, of course, but now the songs are that way as well. So it's like we learn the arrangement, learn all the parts. If somebody's hearing something, they present it, gets vetoed, whatever. You know, we just kind of work easy with each other to formulate it. But this all happens within an hour.
Yeah.
So we're all just hanging out, cracking jokes at the house. All right, y'all ready to play? Yep. 2 takes. So what's next? Oh, we only been here for like 20 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's literally like that.
It's a good way to save money on the studio too.
Exactly, yeah. And then we use his studio because that studio is like our
free. We just pay rent.
So we just kind of have this system set up to move these large amounts of records out.
Yeah.
You know,
And so when you guys are playing, when you guys are on stage, is there a lot of improv that goes into every performance? You know, as you do it.
It's like
songs are different, like night to night.
Yeah.
And so I mean, is it weird then, like when you're recording a song, everyone, you know, you guys do it in 2 takes, and everyone is cool with what they did on that take. I mean, it seems like that would take a while to, you know, because you're such like creators in the moment, you know.
There's a thing that happens really often in the studio with us where someone does, you know, maybe I'll call it a mistake for lack of a better term, but it like oftentimes like if I maybe don't play something exactly right and I don't like it and I want to do another one, maybe everyone else doesn't really feel like that and they're kind of okay with it. And oftentimes like the rest of the band convinces one member to be okay with their mistake. And I don't know, you know, we always kind of say like our lives aren't perfect, so why should the recordings be perfect?
Yeah. That's a good philosophy.
Yeah. Just keep it honest, man.
It's honest for sure.
It's not honest. You know, it's not obvious mistakes.
No.
Right.
You know, we're always our biggest critic, but yeah, I mean, dude, like we all make mistakes on the music, but we think. You know, it's like, no, Andrew, don't change anything. That was killer. And it ends up being part of the tune now.
We make mistakes in life, too.
We try to capture the vibe, like just this vibe, like every time. And sometimes it's not there, but there have been plenty of times that the vibe may necessarily be there and there will be some mistakes, but since the vibe is there, then we're going to go with that tape. Like, that's going to be it. So, I mean, music isn't perfect. It never should be. I mean, you said it's honest and that's what we shoot for.
It's definitely honest.
All right. So we're gonna do a couple more tonight. I lost track of the order. Some of these are new songs. Some of them are old songs. Tell me a little bit about this next one.
So this next one is Frontline, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Brand new, brand spanking, out off the presses from Andy Randazzo.
Yeah.
Chart topper.
This is one of those that came in and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, this is great." Boom. Like,
takes.
Sometimes the tracks we touch them and kind of move stuff around, but this one was like, "Nah, this is great."
We did some touching up.
Really?
Yeah, Devon
like
did a
this
little
is the same.
reharming.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
you know, there were some additions
Oh,
to
we
what I
added stuff, but we didn't
No.
like
There were
fix
there were
anything.
mistakes in there.
There was a lot of mistakes, and Devon fixed all of them, so we're good now.
Chill.
Oh no, that's not what happened. that is not.
All right, so Frontline.
Frontline. Whenever you guys are ready.
Oh, drums and beats.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the style of music you play, you know, it goes back a ways, I think you'd say. Is there something that you guys all kind of like gathered around that you all sort of shared as you were getting together, like Herbie Hancock, Weather Report?
Keep going.
I don't know, Zappa.
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, this is stuff that all you guys came. Is there someone who's like, you know, if someone brings like the Hancock vibes and someone brings like the Coltrane vibes?
You
and,
know, when I was in high school, I had a music teacher who was hipping me to like that kind of stuff that you're talking about, like Herbie Hancock and Frank Zappa and Weather Report and all that stuff. And his name was John Bevins, just to give a shout out. But you know, until I got to college and met Devon, nobody else was on that stuff in my life. Like DJ Harrison was the first person I ever met post like high school that was like, oh, you've been checking out the same stuff that I'm into, that everyone else is like, what is this stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's true. Like, I guess, you know, I mean, when I was growing up in the 90s, this was not like that stuff. Like, people were digging like Miles Davis and Coltrane, like the classic, you know, like Brubeck and you know, like the jazz vanguard kind of scene. And this stuff wasn't as much, I guess, in the hot zone at that time. Was there other stuff that you guys, as you were growing up, because you all grew up well after, you know, the main period of this kind of music, was there other stuff that like brought you along to listening, that led you to the Weather Report, or, you know, whoever it was, Hancock, Miles Davis in that period? Was there other stuff at that time in the 90s or whenever it was you guys were into?
For me, it was like hip hop. That was like that was what I started with musically, and then, you know, moving into this music, you see where all the rhythmic stuff came from. You see where all the harmonic stuff. You see where everything that is built off of came from, except the words, of course.
Yeah.
But we use words every day, so that, you know, that source is never in question. So then that was always crazy to me to like hear these bands that have like Weather Report, the rhythmic content of it is that's the most striking thing about it. Is all these guys can play all this stuff and it's together. It's like together and it has a vibe, and but it's all rhythm and it's all harmony and it's all the stuff we learned in school. But it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like real world, like, you know, 2 blocks outside. That's what it sounds like. It's like, oh, how come the music I've been listening to doesn't sound like that? Well, let me look into this, and then you find DJ Harrison, and it's like, I got the cold beat.
For me, it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. My dad is big in Earth, Wind, and Fire, like all the 70s stuff for me. But Earth, Wind, and Fire, Ohio Players, that was big in the house, man. And then obviously like fusion stuff. And I always tell people that this band for me is like my childhood. It's like the soundtrack of like me growing up as a kid and hearing all the stuff on the radio, being in the car and like just hearing like some tenor saxophone player blowing over top of some funky stuff with clavinets, and I just didn't know what it was or how to describe the music, but I was like, man, this is killing. And I always gravitated towards the Fender Rhodes. Like, I remember the first time I ever heard that was on Sun God, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I think a few of us can agree. Patrice Rushen, so, you know, man, that was life for me, man, as a child, and I'm fortunate to have found guys like-minded.
Yeah.
We all.
Was this the music happening in all your houses when you were growing up?
Yeah, to different extents. I mean, like, I was kind of more into the hip hop lane, like digging into the samples and trying to get into the soul, R&B, funk core of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't really get into jazz and into like rock or even really like other progressive music or even like gospel music. I didn't really get into that until I was in high school. Like, you know, I mean, I think everyone kind of had a different. It's like the same potluck, but just different versions. Just like, you know, I had the meat diet, and like Andy has the vegan diet. Not to say. Let's see. I'm just digging myself into a hole. Well, no, it's just like a different. It's just like a different platter of like assorted different kinds of music.
Yeah.
So like, you know, he's gonna have the same records in his collection as me sometimes, but there's gonna be stuff that he has that I don't have.
Right.
There's gonna be stuff that Morgan has that I don't have.
I have some stuff that you don't have.
I know you do.
Yeah, no,
I want it. I want the whole hard drive. But I mean, that's kind of what influences everyone's individual taste, is that we all have something to bring to the table. But then the weirdest part about that is that there's 5 people that all have the same common knowledge, and we all have like the same agenda. It's like when we get on stage, when we get into the studio, everyone's on like ground zero.
Yeah.
We all came through jazz school, man. Like we all have, came through playing straight ahead. I definitely did. We all, Andrew's an upright bass player as well. When I first met Andy, he played upright.
Right.
Morgan's still at VC. He's at VC right now. He's 21 and he's a junior.
Not right now, but
Yeah,
right now.
But he's in the
This
jazz
is like the
department
satellite
at VCU.
campus.
So, and Marcus went to VCU. He taught there.
VCU, I taught at VCU.
Devon was a drummer at VCU when I met him. We were in high school, and this cat was playing drums in one of the ensembles for VCU Jazz Day. So it's like, we all have a connection there. And we all got our start with acoustic music, I guess, which, it wasn't our start, but it helped us. And I think that helped our improvisational skills a little bit.
Yeah.
And every time we play, we try to make sure the music doesn't sound the same as like the night before.
Yeah.
We keep it loose.
But also, like, even coming from kind of a similar place, we all bring something different to the table.
Yeah.
Corey's always making, like, a basketball analogy, and I don't really know a lot about basketball.
Yeah, right.
From what I understand, everyone kind of, like, has their job and does their thing. And,
Yeah, that's basically team sports in general.
Yeah, that's like-
yeah.
what we try to
VCU
do.
though, I mean, it's a
Even when you
basketball
play
school.
Well,
you know,
Shouts to
exactly,
Shaka.
yeah.
I mean,
Actually,
well, you lost Shaka. You lost Shaka. but That's all right.
It is. VCU is, but that happened overnight. Like,
Yeah.
that happened in the season. Like,
That's-
I
that's
remember when
right.
no one even knew where VCU was at.
Me too.
Right, and now it's out of Texas. That's where it's at.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's what they say.
we're getting
We're
off topic. I can see we can continue down this topic, but I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back. You guys gonna do one more for us? And this is also a new one. Yeah, is this a new one?
This is
Tomahawk.
this is off of our album called Healing.
All right.
Also, live
And live
And on the live album.
Shouts to Gearbox.
Gearbox.
Daryl.
Simon, the
London,
Homies,
England,
and
Earth.
Casper.
We actually did another record.
Platinum
Platinum
Tone.
Tone.
Real quick before I forget,
God.
the first song we played is off of a record that's going to probably come out in the spring through Gearbox. We did it at Mark Ronson's studio in London back in November. So stay tuned for that. And this next song is from Live at Vagabond on Gearbox, which you can get online at any store.
We got
store.
vinyl too.
Vinyl.
And also, real quick, that album that's coming out on Gearbox, we recorded that directly to vinyl disc.
Cool.
That was crazy.
It's a rarity.
Bow.
And we wrote a song in the studio.
And we wrote a song that's on that album in the studio while we were
That
waiting
day.
for them to straighten the levels out.
You guys do work fast.
It was a lot of
Amazing.
pressure, man. Like, that was nuts.
All right, cool. Whenever you're ready.
Don't judge me. I'm gonna play Congress. I'm just playing.
crazy.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Yes, cool it down.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, the pleasure was ours. That was great. That was 3 amazing songs. This is Butcher Brown, everybody. Their most recent album, Live at Vagabond, from down in Richmond, Virginia. And you got a couple of records coming around the corner.
Yes.
Yeah. Both 2018?
We hope so. I know there's one in the fall. I'm sorry, in the spring, I believe, that's coming out. More info will be coming about that
All right.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just stay
People can
tuned.
find that info, butcherbrown.com. There's some videos there, songs you can hear, some tour dates. I know you guys got a Brooklyn show coming up next month.
It's
Dates.
Brooklyn Steel on February 17th.
Brooklyn Steel.
Tour
We
with
are-
Galactic.
We're going on tour in support of one of our favorite bands, Galactic.
Stan
from New
Moore.
Orleans, Stan Moore.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the second half of February into March. So stay tuned. Hopefully we're coming to a town near you.
Yeah, cool. Well, everyone here in the city, check them out at Brooklyn Steel in February, and all those dates are on butcherbrown.com. And pick up Live at Vagabond and get a taste of what you just heard right now. So, guys, Butcher Brown, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
Coming
Thank
to
you.
Pace and playing in our studio and hanging around with us and talking about jazz. And please come back and play again for us anytime, all right?
You love to.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right.